Oh, we are back for a little preamble before the main show tomorrow. What's poppin', everybody? What's poppin'? Nice chill time tonight. Nice chill time tonight. We're gonna be chilling and relaxing, watching this game, rooting on, in my opinion, the Minnesota Timberwolves, our guys, Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, because how glorious would it be to be able to play against them in an NBA Finals? Because we know the Knicks are gonna make it out against the Pacers. Knicks in 4, never wavered. I was Knicks in 4 against Boston. I've never wavered. So of course I'm gonna go Knicks in 4 against Indiana, even though that's gonna be a tough series. I'm still gonna go Knicks in 4. But tonight is the start of the Western Conference Finals, and we got Minnesota Timberwolves against Oklahoma City Thunder. If you ask me who I think is going to win tonight, I'll go Thunder. They're the better team, even though they're coming off a tough 7-game series. They have more mileage on them here in the playoffs, more physical brand of basketball, whatever. But they're the youngest team one of the youngest teams in the league, youngest team in the playoffs. So they shouldn't be too tired. But we did see against Denver, they really struggled to shoot from the perimeter. Maybe some of the fatigue setting in as these playoffs go on. We'll see if they'll be able to hit some jump shots here today. They've only had 1 day of rest, right? Game 7 was on, 1 day of rest. Game 7 was on Sunday, and they had Monday off, and today's Tuesday. So they had no, they didn't have to fly anywhere. They're still back home, right? They ended it. Game 7 was in Oklahoma City. Game 1 today is in Oklahoma City, so there's no travel fatigue that should be there for them. They should be ready to go. It is on ESPN. ESPN loves to start their games like 15 minutes after the supposed times advertised start. Instead of 8:30, we're going to be starting at like 7:45. But Mike, what's up, Mike? Liking the Wolves in this one? I want to like the Wolves in this one, right? I'm going to be rooting for them hard. I do think they have a chance. I do think this is at least a 6-game series. I don't think it's going to end in 4 or 5. This is definitely going to be a defensive series. We saw what Oklahoma City's defense was capable of. They are one of the best defenses we've seen since maybe like the 04 Pistons, right? But that was a completely different league at that time. But we also saw Minnesota kind of do something similar in last year's playoffs against Denver, funnily enough, where they turned up the defense and turned up the intensity and sped up Denver last year in the playoffs. And so both these teams showing their defensive prowess these last 2 years. Minnesota's maybe taking a slight step back with the inclusion of Randle in the starting lineup instead of Towns. Funny to say that. Randle's more switchable, but he's not as good of a rim protector or rebounder as Towns. So here we go. I very much have Minnesota pulling this one out. You got to have the belief. This is going to be a tough series. It's going to be tough for Minnesota to overcome it. But obviously they're going to have their chances. Because my phone falls apart. That's cool. We'll fix that later. But I'm looking forward to this SGA Anthony Edwards matchup. I think Randle, as awesome of a playoffs as he's had, I could see him seriously struggling against Oklahoma City, and that's the thing that's going to make me go, yeah. I actually think you could see a decent amount of Gobert Naz Reid, because Reid is a bit bigger than Randle, but Randle does tend to play very big. The only issue is that he has a propensity to be blocked at the basket because of his size, and going up against two extremely good rim protectors in Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. This is also a fantastic. I didn't even take this into account. This is also a fantastic opportunity for me to hate on Hartenstein the whole time. I love it. We get the Hartenstein hate watch, and we get the Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo fan fest here. I love it. Michael Rogers, what's up, Michael? I love it. I'm excited. Can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it. There's the obvious matchup of Edwards and SGA, like I was saying before. SGA is playing at a ridiculous level right now. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop him. I'd like to see Anthony Edwards take that challenge of guarding him. They'll most likely start off with McDaniels on SGA. Edwards will probably guard somebody like Dort. Well, who do you had Conley on? No, you had Conley on Dort. You have Edwards guard. No, I think Edwards has to guard SGA because you want McDaniel's size on J-Dub. So, and then you have the bigs match up with the bigs in some form or fashion. Although it is going to be interesting to use Randall to guard J-Dub, just because of his size and whatnot. Right? His size matches up much better with J-Dub than anybody else on Minnesota. So that could be an interesting matchup for sure. Russell Field, what's up, Russell? Randall versus Hartenstein, man. Nick versus Nick. Crazy. One way or another, New York Knicks will be in the NBA Finals yet again this year. one way or another, the Knicks find a way to be in the Finals every year, right? They got that little record going. MBM, what's up, MBM? We're going to get it kicked off, these conference finals here tonight. It is an every other day thing, so we might be live every night. We really might be live every night. Right? Actually, you check that out. This is why you get wireless stuff. I can pull it all the way out there. So starts off tonight, obviously, with Game 1 in the West. Game 1 in the West. What are you doing? Game 1 in the East is tomorrow, obviously, 8 o'clock. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it's every other day until the finals. So we will be live pretty much every night unless this series proves to not be very entertaining. Keith Modeste, what's up, Keith? MBM said, feet up. Yes, sir. Nice chill night tonight. I'm obviously rooting for the Timberwolves. I would think most Knicks fans would be rooting for the Timberwolves because we got our guys over there, and it would be a fantastic story to see the two teams that made that very late in the offseason trade. It was like a day or two before training camp started. The obvious big blockbuster trade of Karl-Anthony Towns and Julius Randle down to DiVincenzo being swapped. And it would be great to get those two teams in the finals. That would be tremendous. Usual starting lineup for the Timberwolves with Mike Conley in there. Usual starting lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder with J-Dub, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. Benedict Arnold, the trader. MBM reminding people to hit the like button off rip. Love it. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Rudy Pooty, what's up, Rudy? I want to see Jew and Big Ragu kill it. Me too, man. Me too. Raymond Jacobs, what's up, Ray? Here we go. Getting ready for the tip. Gobert wins it, and here comes Minnesota. All right, the conference finals are officially off and running. Randall has it up top, and he's going to be guarded by J-Dub to start, and they put Chet Holmgren on McDaniels as he steps back and knocks down a straightaway three, and they're going to dare him to shoot. They're going to dare him to shoot. K. Hazy, what's up, K. Hazy? Keith Modeste. Did I already say you, Keith? Doesn't matter. What's up, Keith? J-Dub almost turned it over. He does turn it over. Ball going back to Minnesota. Conley will bring it down. And again, interesting matchup of having J-Dub on Randall and Holmgren on McDaniels. McDaniels dancing with it, a mid-range pull-up jumper. He's saying, you're going to have to guard me. You're going to have to guard me, Holmgren. You're not going to treat me like I'm Josh Hart. You're not going to treat me like I'm somebody who can't score. I like him going right at that matchup. Holmgren's giving him space, and he's knocked down 2 jumpers now. 1 from 3, 1 from the mid-range. SGA dancing around the screen, gets wide open, airballs it, hit the side of the backboard. When do you see that happen? On a wide open 3 from SGA. Back up top to Edwards. Edwards being guarded by Holmgren now. They're going at Chet Holmgren out on the perimeter. He's saying you're going to have to slide them feet. Edwards is going to dance a step back straightaway 3. He's open. Oh my goodness, an 8-0 start. I love it. I love it. Here we go. OKC's never down and out, but here we go. SGA up top being guarded by McDaniels, like I said. SGA leans in, pump fakes, draws the foul, and Gobert. He's going to find his way to the foul line for 2 free throws. They are going at Chet Holmgren. They are, if you're going to guard on the perimeter, Chet, you're going to have to slide them feet, dog. McDaniels is going at you. Now Edwards went at you on the last possession. You're giving them space. They're knocking down the jump shot. Now maybe the whole idea is they're not going to knock down threes all night long, right? Like, as good of a three-point shooter as Edwards is, he can be inconsistent. He can hit cold stretches. McDaniels is as inconsistent as a perimeter shooter as they come. So they might just say, go ahead, try to hit step-back threes over Chet Holmgren all night long. As SGA splits a pair of free throws, he's kind of been struggling from the free throw line this playoffs. Edwards up top, hands it off to McDaniels, and again, involving him in the play. They get it down low to Gobert against Holmgren. He loses it, picks it back up. Righty hook, off glass, can't get it to go. Can't get his own offensive rebound as they call a push-off on Gobert. Brother. I will say they're going right at Chet Holmgren, though. Again, they did it with the McDaniels matchup, and then when Chet Holmgren switched off onto Gobert, they immediately dumped the ball down to Gobert, which obviously you never really want to do. That's like, for us, passing the ball to Mitchell Robinson, that's just something you don't do. Just something you don't do. But Naj Reid immediately subs in for Gobert. Interesting. A minute and a half into the game, they're bringing in Naj Reid. SGA's dancing with it, leans in, trying to draw a foul. Brother, stop foul baiting. This is the Western Conference Finals, brother. You just gotta go get a basket. Edwards has it up top, being guarded by Holmgren. They're looking to attack again. Another step back, pump fake, out to McDaniels, back to Edwards. Edwards in the middle of the lane. Spins to his right, slips, gets tripped up. No foul call. People diving on the floor. Dort saves it over to SGA. Here comes SGA right side of the court. In and out move, going right to the basket. Leaves it off to Harnstein, and a big two-handed hammer for Harnstein. And OKC will look to bring it down 8-3, a 5-point game. AP, what's up, AP? Tomorrow, this has got to be protect home court. For sure, man. Every time you have home court advantage, the whole idea is to protect home court. Every time you play in the guard, the whole idea. Conley has it up top, coming to his left off the Randall screen, driving it down to the basket, kicks it out to McDaniels. They swing it out to Randall. He's going to catch, pump fake. Now he's going to fire off the hesitation. Comes up short. You knew that wasn't going to go in. That's not a good shot. After you hesitate, you can't look to do that. They kick it back out to SGA. Good initial transition defense. And Conley ends up fouling SGA. And my man Niall Dimitri with a very generous super chat again. My man Niall always comes through with his super chats. I appreciate you, Niall, man. I very much do. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's go Knicks. Yes, sir, Niall. Yes, sir. 9-11 to go here in the first quarter. And the whistle's flying a little bit. Kind of letting them play, though. SGA has it up top. Swings it over to J-Dub. Driving down to his right. In the lane. Off glass. Can't get it to go. Great defense from Naj Reid. Here comes Reid. And he hands it off to nobody. He thought Randall was going to be there. And then they call a foul on Dort. As they were both battling for the loose ball. Dort kind of went after it when Randall didn't know it was there. So the Timberwolves kind of catch a break there. Should have been a turnover on the Timberwolves. There was miscommunication there between Naj Reid and Julius Randle. Thankfully, though, Randle was able to save it. Ended up being a foul on Dort, which could come into play. He picks up another one. They get it out to Edwards. Edwards, a one-dribble mid-range pull-up jumper, and he gets it to go. Those days off for the Minnesota Timberwolves has obviously done them well, knocking down perimeter shots when that was kind of something they were struggling with in their previous series against as SGA all the way to the basket and blows a layup in their previous series against the Warriors. Edwards going to dance with it against Cason Wallace, driving to his right, pulling it back, coming to his left. Now has him in the post as he turned his back, and J-Dub wisely sneaks up right behind him, bully balling his way to the basket. Edwards with a chase down block, okay. And now we're getting some NBA action. Conley, quick crossover scoop layup with the left hand, blows the layup. Randall fighting on the glass for the rebound, and then out of bounds off of Julius Randle. And Randall saying, you got to challenge that. It's very clearly off of Dort. And I think it was. Lotto Motors with double Lino. Slim Slam, what's up, Slim? But they don't challenge it. Here comes SGA and the Thunder driving it down quickly. He goes to the basket, and they call a foul on the Timberwolves. SGA back to the foul line for 2 free throws. APC, let's see Knicks Wolves finals. Who won the trade finals? Absolutely. You get to litigate who won that trade right before training camp, right before the start of the year. They made that trade very late into the offseason. And they call a technical foul. Anthony Edwards' brother. What are you doing? SGA knocks down the first one. He's at the foul line for 3 free throws now. Edwards threw the ball at SGA while he was laying on the floor. Silliness. Robin Schultz up Robin. SGA knocks down the second one. Got one more coming. Lana Mona said, we need to win the first 2 at home just like last year. Yes, we do. Now, look, we're fully healthy. Last year, we had all the excuses in the world, and rightfully so. They were rightful excuses with all the injuries we dealt with. We got no excuses this year. Knicks got to win it. They got to win it. SGA knocks down all 3 of his free throws. McDaniels up top to Conley, back to McDaniels. They get it into Randall being guarded by Harnstein. Two old Knicks going back at it. 2 Knicks going at it. Randall bully balling his way to the basket. Puts it up. Can't get it to go down. Good defense from Harnstein. Pains me to say, but it was. They get it over to J-Dub. J-Dub up top to SGA. Coming to his left off the Harnstein screen. Putting his head down, attacking. Draws yet another foul. He's going back to the foul line. The foul merchant in his bag tonight. NBM said, we both won. Them for financial reasons, us the chip. Well, what if Minnesota wins the chip? What if they do win the championship, NBM? Wouldn't that mean that they undoubtedly won the trade as SGA misses another free throw? It's the second missed free throw of the night and 90% free throw shooter. Dre, 95-25. What's up, Dre? Got the timer still going. SGA does knock down the second one. It's back to a 3-point game. OKC slowing the pace of the game down by SGA again to the foul line. Randall on the left wing. Pulls up for 3s. They give him space, and he splashes it. There you go, Julius. Get in on the action, brother. Get in on the action. Gave 3 points to the wrong side. My bad. 7-13. SGA wheeling and dealing. Down the lane. Scoop lay with the right hand. Got it to go. Now he's feeling himself. Now the Timberwolves are pulling their hands back, not wanting to send him to the line yet again. Randall up top, coming to his right. J-Dub switches onto him. Randall bully balling his way down low. Harnstein comes over, knocks it out of his hands. Here comes the Thunder doing what they do, Buzz, getting out in transition off a steal, and a lob to Harnstein from Cason Wallace. And it's a 2-point game, 13-11. They get it to Naj Reid. High post, left wing, backing down J-Dub. Up top to McDaniels. McDaniels going to drive it down in the lane, kicks it out to a wide open Randall in the right corner for 3, and he splashes yet another one. I like it, Julius. I like it. I like to see you hoop out there, Julius. Come on. J-Dub up top, dancing with it, coming to his left, kicks it over to Harnstein, swings it out, wide open door on the right wing. They don't even attempt to close out to him. They're like, he can't knock that down. Conley with the rebound, and he gets fouled by Harnstein. 6:21, and we got our first stoppage of play here. Timberwolves doing a good job of battling back despite going or despite turning the ball over and giving Oklahoma City exactly what they want. MPM said, "How dare you?" Well, it's a hypothetical, man. It's why you play the games. It's a hypothetical. If the Knicks and the Timberwolves matched up in the finals, and if the Knicks ended up losing that finals matchup, wouldn't that mean that Minnesota won the trade? You can't say that both teams won the trade just because they both made it to the finals, right? Because they would have acquired financial flexibility, and then they would have acquired the championship via the trade. Now, obviously, in a Minnesota versus Knicks matchup, I would pick the Knicks. But I'm just saying, in a hypothetical world that we're living in right now, where both of those teams advance right now, if Minnesota were to win, they undoubtedly win the trade. Unfortunately. AP said, now that Boston Celtics have been slayed, maybe the Knicks can start getting these first place finishes next year. We're not worried about that, AP. We're not worried about that. You're worried about the wrong things, brother. You're worried about the wrong things. You're worried about one thing, winning a championship. How did that one seed fare for Cleveland this year? Got smacked up. Got absolutely dominated in the second round against the Pacers. You're not worried about playing our best basketball for 82 games. You're worried about playing our best basketball for 16 games, dog. Shot Collins. What's up, Shot Collins? Thanks for going live. I got you, brother. I got you. We just going to hang out. Nice chill night. Nice chill night. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to move my man Dimitri. When we're doing other people's other games outside of the Knicks, I'm going to be sitting down, chilling, having a good time. And then, where is it? Where is it? Not scrolling check. Not the chat. Not that. Not that. This. Come down. Boom, 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 boom. This guy. Move my man Nile up here. Appreciate you, brother. I'm going to move you right there. And I'm actually going to move the Chatteroos. Yeah. There we go. I like that. That's better. That's better. So you can see me a little bit more. I'm not hiding behind Dimitri's message. MEM said the chip is the ultimate goal. If they achieve that, then you're right. Yeah, pretty much. AP said whoever wins the finals wins the trade. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lana Mona said this series has Knicks all over it. Rando, I Heart, Big Ragu. You know it. You know it. This is Knicks everywhere. This is Knicks everywhere. Rando ends up fouling Cason Wallace. He was coming out trying to just receive the ball. We're back into it, y'all. We're back into it. He said, I think the last time I saw the Knicks sweep a series was the 99 Hawks. It has been a while. It's a good point. We have not seen a sweep. We have not seen the Knicks completely control a series from start to finish. Maybe we get it next year. Maybe we get it next year. Hey, maybe we get in the conference final series. Maybe we sweep the Pacers. I've been calling out Knicks in 4 as DiVincenzo lines up at 3. He can't get it to go. Naj Reid an offensive rebound. He can't get the putback. He's still battling for it. McDaniels comes down with it. Cason Wallace comes up with the steal, though, and he takes it right back, right out of his hands. You can't handle it. Jaden McDaniels around Cason Wallace. You got to pick that ball up and just pass it out. A step back mid-range jumper over Randall, and SGA gets it to go. And our first basket coming out of the timeout. DiVincenzo, like I said, shot the previous shot. He's driving it down, loses the handle on the ball. And this is not a good team to be turning it over against. This is already, their 5th or 6th turnover? SGA driving it down, leaves it off for Dort. Dort in the mid-range, he's going to pull it back out. Up top to J-Dub. J-Dub's going to dance with it against Edwards. Spins to his left, down the lane. And he gets fouled. He's going back to the foul line. Michael Brown, what's up, Michael? Timberwolves in 5 games? I hope so. I hope so. Right now, the Thunder look like the better team. Timberwolves have knocked down some perimeter shots that have given them the lead, but OKC is dominating. Minnesota is dominating from three-point range, and OKC is dominating from the foul line as J-Dub knocks down his first free throw. MBM said Harnstein left for money, easy villain. Hate that guy. Benedict Arnold. J-Dub goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. Back to a 1-point game. A little over 5 minutes to go here in the first. We're past the halfway point. Wallace pressuring Edwards full court. Edwards has it up top. He's going to dance with it. Coming to his left, off a McDaniel screen. Spins, kicks it out. McDaniel's going to pump fake, crosses over to his right, loses the hand on the ball. This is what the Thunder do best, and the Timberwolves are playing right into their hands, mishandling the ball and just kind of giving it to them right now. And OKC takes their first lead of the game. So a slow start from them and a fast start from the Minnesota Timberwolves have immediately erased before the end of the first quarter here. Randall's going to drive it down, Euro step in the lane, kicks it out to McDaniels, extra pass to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo doesn't take the three, kicks it out to Naz Reid for a wide open straightaway three. He comes up short on it. DiVincenzo battling for it, but Holmgren comes down with it. 6 turnovers for Minnesota to start this game right now. Abe said I got the Rick Brunson number 9 today. It's a good pickup. It's a good pickup right there. Riverside Studios. What's up, Riverside? SGA bringing it down. He has it up top. Coming to his right, driving it down, kicks it out up top. Isaiah Joe, extra pass to Holmgren. They run him off the line. Going to drive it down against Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's just checked in. Out to Wallace for a right corner three, too long, can't get it to go. McDaniels with a rebound. We're bringing it down the other way. It hit ahead to DiVincenzo up top to Reed. Swings it over to Edwards. Edwards being guarded by Wallace. Coming to his left. Off an Alexander-Walker screen. A step back, pull up mid-range jumper over Holmgren. Not a great shot from Edwards along the left baseline. And here comes Joe off the rebound. Joe crossing over to his right. Off the Holmgren screen. Edwards switches onto him. Pulls it back out to SGA being guarded by McDaniels. And SGA slowing it down, looking for an advantage. Coming to it right up the Wallace screen. Pulling it back out, dancing with it. Shot clock winding down. He's going to settle for that pull-up three over Reed. Rhythm dribbles, not enough for him to get the basket. And here comes Alexander Walker. Hit ahead to Edwards. Edwards gets it over to Reed. Reed backing down SGA on the mismatch. Backing him down in the paint. Kicks it out. DiVincenzo, right corner three. Wide open. Line it up. And he lines it up from three-point range. Minnesota retakes the lead 19-17. A little over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. SGA gets it out to Holmgren. Holmgren spinning against Reed, driving it down in the lane. Euro steps, loses the handle, out of bounds. Ball going back to the Wolves. There's some good defense right there. MBM said OKC is too much 10-man deep. Yeah, but how, like, that's regular season stuff. How much of a contribution as that's a regular season thing. You don't trust 10 men in the playoffs. There's a reason why Isaiah Joe has barely played for the Thunder during these playoffs. Not something you normally see. Right? They're starting 5 plus Kason Wallace off the bench, plus Alex Caruso off the bench, Aaron Wiggins. Those are 3 guys they'll trust. And then if you get anything from Isaiah Joe, you get anything from big man Jalen Williams, icing on the cake. They're really 8 men deep with 2 maybes. Right? We'll see if Isaiah Joe has the advantage here today. Although I will say, Jalen Clark, the rookie, subbing in for Minnesota here. He's barely played in the playoffs. He has not really been a part of Minnesota's rotations whatsoever. But Minnesota is playing him because he's played well against the Thunder. 6'4", 205. Versus OKC. He's averaging 7.7 points, 2.3 steals. He's been a menace defensively against them. For whatever reason, it's worked out in the 3 games they've played this season. For whatever reason, right? Regular season, only 4.1 points, a steal. So Coach Chris Finch trying to hit a home run with that rotation there. But you start off the game, McDaniels hit a 3, Edwards hit a 3, Randall's hit 2 threes, and now DiVincenzo's hit a 3. They are 5 for 8 from 3-point range, and they only have a 2-point lead. Majority of that is they've sent SGA to the foul line 7 times already. They're 7 for 9 from the free throw line, and they're 0 for 4 from 3. 5 for 14 from the field compared to 7 for 15. So it feels like Minnesota should at least be up closer to 10, like a 5 to 8 point lead. Instead, it's only 2, and it's kind of been a back and forth affair with the free throw disparity. But Gobert and Conley, you have to get up on the board. They pulled Gobert very early. Interesting rotation. They put Naj Reid in there a minute and a half into the game. And he hasn't scored yet, but he's been effective. OKC used their challenge there in the out-of-bounds call. Terrible challenge from the Thunder coach. Now they don't have a challenge the remainder of the game. But Caruso, the difference maker, has subbed in. They put him on Naj Reid early. They're running DiVincenzo off a million screens, but they can't get him the ball. Now they get it to him on the left wing. It's it over to Reid, being guarded by Caruso. Reid kicks it out. Alexander Walker, wide open straightaway 3. He comes up short. Caruso with the rebound. Here comes Alex Caruso. Swings it out to Joe. Joe coming to his left, down the lane. Shoves off, kicks it out. They swing it around. Holmgren's going to pump fake, drive to his right, down the lane, off glass. Can't get it to go. Just rimmed out. Edwards with the rebound. Here comes Reid. Cross-court pass to Devo. He's going to pump fake. Kicks back over to Reid. Reid's going to fire a 3 over Caruso. No hesitation. He can't get it to go. I let my timer tick down, but we got 2 minutes to go. Keenahara, what's up, Keenahara? Respect Caruso. I watched him on our Knicks. I wish we had him on our Knicks. I do too. They call a foul on Naj Reid as they try to hit the entry pass to Holmgren. And the Knicks did try to get Alex Caruso. They were in contact with Chicago for a trade. But the Knicks didn't have the young players to offer that could rival Josh Giddey. And we know Chicago is not interested in draft picks. They're interested in player trades. And the Knicks didn't have any young players to trade for to get Alex Caruso. As Holmgren misses a free throw. That is the 3rd missed free throw already. Daniel Berry Sports, what's up, Daniel? Kennard said, let's go Julius and Dante. Also, I like Ant. Yeah, rooting hard for Minnesota as Holmgren misses 2 free throws. We've seen that before. Cost them the Denver game 1 in that series. Edwards up top. They get it over to Alexander Walker. Being guarded by Joe. Alexander Walker driving to his left. Kicks it up to Clark. They call 3 seconds on the Thunder. So a free throw for the Timberwolves. I believe their first free throw of the game. It is their first free throw of the game. And Edwards knocks it down. AP said OKC have changed their colors. There's only one orange and blue in the NBA. True. Should have stuck with some level of green. That Seattle Supersonics green was great color, great jerseys. I can't wait for expansion. Got to get Seattle back into it. Alexander Walker driving it down with the shot clock winding down. He puts up a mid-range jumper. He can't get it to go, and they call a foul on Kenrich Williams, who's making an appearance here. Mark Dagnall trying out some different guys here tonight, seeing who matches up well. Some guys seeing the floor who didn't see the floor against Denver for Oklahoma City here, and some guys seeing the floor for Minnesota who didn't see the floor against Golden State or the Lakers, for that matter. Alexander Walker gets it over to Edwards. Edwards up top, and it looks like OKC's in a bit of a zone here, matchup zone. As Dante drives it down, hits the side of the backboard, not even close. Clark grabbed the offensive rebound, but was not cognizant that the shot clock was winding down as the ball never hit the rim, and he ends up with a shot clock violation. 1:20 to go, 20-17. Minnesota holding on to a 3-point lead here. SGA has it up top. Driving it down to his left, kicks it out. Isaiah Joe gets a good look from three, and he rattles it in, and that's a guy you don't want heating up here. Ties it at 20 with a minute to go here in this first quarter. Edwards is going to look to dance with it. Driving it down to his right, steps back, kicks it out. Alexander Walker coming to his right. Back to Edwards, back to Alexander Walker, a right wing three from him. In and out, halfway down, can't get it to go. But Jalen Clark right there for the offensive rebound and putback. C. Tyler, what's up, C. Tyler? Charlie B. Cruz, what's up, Charlie? Let's send I Heart to Cancun. I'd love to see it, Charlie. I'd love to see it. Get I Heart up out of here. SGA driving it down again, trying to foul bait. Just chucks it up at the basket. Ends up being a terrible shot. Edwards has it up top. Being guarded by Wallace. Driving it down, dancing with it, crossing over to his left, down the lane. Gets fouled, can't get the floater to go. And now he's holding his right foot. Uh-oh. Ankle, foot, something on his right leg. Gonna limp his way to the foul line. Oh, it's a rolled ankle. Didn't roll all the way, though. That's a strong dude right there. Y'all ever half sprain your ankle? If he would have rolled that whole thing, he'd be done. He would have been done. But he was able to hold on and not roll the whole ankle. Knocks down the first one. Got another one coming. 19.7 seconds to go exactly here in the first quarter. AB said, I wonder who Adam Silver is rooting for. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares. What difference would it make? As Edwards does miss the second free throw. Splits them there. Wallace is bringing it down for what should be the last possession of the quarter here. Wallace and the Thunder have it up top. Coming to his right off an SGA screen. They get it over to SGA, being guarded by McDaniels. Steps back, mid-range pull-up jumper from him. Comes up short. And that will end the first quarter here, 23-20. A well-battled, good competition here after that first quarter. Minnesota dominated with their shot making. Oklahoma City dominated with their defense, causing turnovers and also getting fouled and getting to the foul line. Slim Slam said, the Knicks winning means everything for the future of the NBA. I think it'd be great for them. I think they'd like that and really enjoy it. But I really don't think they care. I really don't think they care, man. Right? Because who is the most marketable player remaining in the playoffs right now? It's Anthony Edwards and SGA. So I think they would very much prefer one of those two guys winning the championship. I said, dang, Dante bricking? He did hit 1-3. But outside of that, he has been breaking. Avy said, what difference does it make? You know he has a root of interest in this stuff. I think he would like to see the possible future faces of the league win a championship. I think he would like to see Edwards or SGA make it really far. I don't think he gives a damn about the teams. He wants the most marketable players to be playing for as long as possible, which would mean OKC and Minnesota. Kinar said, who? How many Jalen's are there? Jalen Clark. Pretty soon it would be Jalen Smith passes to Jalen Jones. Ricks rebounded by Jalen White. Misses the layup, fouled by Jalen Black. Ref, Jalen Thompson calls it. Hey, man, it's a popular name. It's a good name. Jalen's a good name. Everything goes through phases, man. Everything goes through phases. Right? There was a stretch where everybody was named Michael for very, very obvious reasons. Right? You can't go around naming your kids LeBron because there's really only one LeBron. It's too unique of a name. Can't do it. Can't name your kid LeBron, right? But we used to say that about Shaquille, and then there was a handful of Shaquilles running around. I know my fair share of Shaquilles, personally and famous wise, unfortunately. But it's a phase right now. The Jalen Renaissance is a phase right now. The problem is that Jalen is just too good of a name, right? Jalen, it sounds good, short, simple, easy to spell, but you could also get creative with the spelling of it. Like I know you're talking about Jalen Clark, Kinahar. Jalen Clark is spelled Jaylen or Lin, I believe. If you said, yeah, the NBA office treats the Knicks as a supporting cast. That's not why. The NBA office and James Dolan, NBA leadership and James Dolan have beef, brother. That is the nitty-gritty inside of the NBA. Abe said, I never met a Shaquille. AP, brother, you're too old, dog. Shaq comes into prominence in the mid-'90s, meaning that the kids who were named after Shaquille, or the people named after Shaquille, would be around my age. I would have grown up with the Shaquilles, brother. Unless you're hanging out and know a ton of young people, I wouldn't expect you to know any Shaquilles. Conley pump fake, passes it over to Dante. We're back in to start the second quarter. Randall is in, and Edwards goes out back to the locker room. And Randall driving it in and finally draws a foul. Going to go to the foul line, 2 free throws. Slim Slam said it's too early to adopt LeBron. He's been in the league for 20 years. This is right around the time we would see, right? LeBron comes into rise and prominence in the early 2000s, right? Like 2005, the people who are having kids at that time would have been naming their kids LeBron. So by now, they would be in their 20s, and we would be hearing of LeBrons coming up. We haven't heard any LeBrons coming up. It's too unique of a name. There's only one LeBron. You would always be compared to LeBron James, which is not good. Not good. Aaron Wiggins puts up a floater, can't get it to go. Wallace comes flying in for an offensive rebound, but he's out of bounds when he grabs it. Here comes Conley pushing the other way. They get it over to Alexander Walker. Over to Randall being guarded by Caruso. Randall up top to Conley. Conley coming to his left off the Gobert screen. Puts up a right-handed floater. Hit the backboard. Doesn't even hit the rim. Dog, what was that, Mike Conley? Here comes Wiggins driving it down. Randall split the free throws, by the way. It's 24-20. Wallace has it in the paint. Tries to kick it out to J-Dub. Dante DiVincenzo tracks it down. Pump fake. Shoves it over to Gobert. He's going to Euro step. Knocked out of his hands. Back out to DiVincenzo. A left wing 3. Way long. Can't get it to go. Got to knock those down, Dante. You got to knock those down, man. Aaron Wiggins tries to get it over to Wallace, but knocked out of bounds by Alexander Walker. Keenan Hart said, yeah, all the kids in my elementary school were Shaquille Goldberg, Shaquille Levin, Shaquille Finkelstein for sure. Depends where you grew up, my man. Those last names are not from families who would be naming their kid Shaquille, my man. NBM said, low-scoring, nervous play. OKC is a bit of a, as the Thunder have scored, they have a bit of an excuse as they played a rough 7-game series. As McDaniels misses a 3, here comes the Thunder. So they have a bit of an excuse for some not great shot making here as J-Dub lobs it up to Hartenstein for another two-handed slam. Now we're tied at 24. So they have a bit of an excuse. Minnesota's been off, so I guess their excuse would be that they are they're tired or that they're rusty. DiVincenzo fires another 3 at the side of the rim. Wasn't even close. Tossed up yet another brick. Here comes Aaron Wiggins coming the other way, dancing with it. Out to Hartenstein. Hartenstein hands it off to J-Dub. Going to pump fake, come to his left, driving it down against Alexander Walker. Gets tied up by him and then knocked out of his hands. And Gobert picks it up. Hit ahead to Randall. Randall's going to bring it down against Caruso. Coming to his right, backing down. Kicks it out to Conley. Extra pass DiVincenzo. He's going to line up another one. That one in and out. You got to start knocking some of these down, Dante. You got to start knocking some of these down, my man. Getting pretty decent looks. You're too good of a shooter for that. We saw it last year. Wiggins on the left wing, coming to his right at the Hartenstein screen, driving it down against Gobert. Scooblé with the right hand, way off. Conley does a great job knocking the rebound away from Hartenstein. And here comes Randall, putting his head down and attacking. And he gets fouled by Caruso. And the Caruso-Randall matchup is going to be interesting because Randall has no problems coming out, far past the three-point line to get the ball and then going off the bounce against Caruso, where that was something that Jokic just seemed very reluctant to do. I would have liked to see Jokic just come out to the three-point line and get that ball. Instead, he continued to try to get post positioning on Caruso, which ultimately was their demise. The Timberwolves swinging it around. Randall straightaway 3, and he splashes it. There we go, Julius. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Julius. I'm hyped. Julius Randall, his third 3 of the game. He's hooping out there. I love it. I love to see Randall play well, man. Jose NYC, appreciate you, Jose. He said stopping by just to hit the likes. And they call an offensive foul on Hartenstein. You love to see it. You'll love to see the downfall of Isaiah Hartenstein, man. I've been rooting for it all year. Hartenstein, I feel Minnesota is blowing an opportunity here. For sure. Definitely feels like with the way they're shooting their perimeter shots right now, definitely feels like they should have more than a 3-point lead. But OKC able to hang in by causing turnovers. As they call an offensive foul on Randall, Caruso draws the offensive foul. He giveth and he taketh, Julius Randall. He giveth and he taketh. Hattie, what's up, Hattie? David Osh Jr., what's up, David? Big Rud, what's up, Big Rud? Wallace has it up top. Ernest Cash, what's up, Ernest? Over to Hartenstein. Hartenstein crossing over, coming to his right to the basket. Gets blocked by Gobert. I love it. Wallace picks it up, kicks it out. Caruso, a right wing 3 over Randall. Splashes it. Come on, Randall. He giveth and he taketh, man. He giveth and he taketh. What's the excitement level for tomorrow, David? 10. I'm at a 10. Alexander Walker can't knock down the 3. Long rebound. Randall able to pick it up. Walks into a pull-up 3 from him. And that's his 4th 3 of the game, Julius. All right. Knocking down the shot, brother. Knocking down the shot. J-Dub driving it down. Gets it over to Hartenstein. Foul line floater. Splashes it. Alexander Walker gets stripped by J-Dub, but he can't hold on to it. It goes out of bounds. It'll go back to the Wolves. 7:12 to go here in the second quarter. And I don't think Edwards has come back out of the locker room yet. I think he's still back there. David said, love this game, 3x Knicks. Yeah, Dante hasn't been very good. Been breaking it up out there. Alexander Walker ends up with a wide open corner 3, and he puts his hands in the air like, finally. Finally. But let's go through the box score real quick because we get a timeout with 7 minutes to go. Let's go through the box score real quick because Minnesota knocking down all these perimeter shots. OKC, I think, only has 2 threes that they've made. That is not good. Not good in the long run for Minnesota. Only having a 4-point lead to show for it. Randall's 4 for 5 from 3-point range for 13 points. They're 8 for 19 overall. The Thunder are 2 for 6. Right? Minnesota's doing a great job of limiting their 3-point shots. Right? I'm going to give credit for them for doing that. But Dort is 0 for 1. SGA is 0 for 2. And that's pretty much it. And Wallace is 0 for 1. And those are the only guys who've taken a 3 that haven't hit one. David said, Knicks in 4. Yes, sir, David. We know what the prediction is. We're not going to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Knicks in 4. Knicks in 4. David said Knicks Wolves final is going to be awesome. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We get to litigate the trade over a 7-game series. Incredible. Incredible stuff. Hey, Hazy said a Randall cookie. He giveth and he taketh. He's 4 for 5 from 3-point line. But he now is up to 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. So you know, he giveth and he taketh. That is the Julius Randle experience right there. You know, I said, got to go Knicks in 5. Knicks in 4 until proven otherwise. If you're asking me for like a legitimate, objective one, I would say Knicks in 6. I would say Knicks in 6. Jose said, I love the Knicks lineage spread throughout both sides of these playoff series. Yeah, man, you got Obi representing Indiana. You got obviously Randall and DiVincenzo representing Minnesota. You have Harnstein, that Benedict Arnold representing Oklahoma City. And then obviously you have our New York Knicks representing the New York Knicks. So. Slim Slamma said, if I bet, I would be in OKC, but I would prefer Minnesota. Definitely. That's kind of how I also feel, Slim. I think it's very likely Oklahoma City wins this series. I think Minnesota has much more than a puncher's chance. Saying a puncher's chance means that their odds are very slim. I don't think their odds are slim. I would say it's like 65-35 that OKC wins this. OKC should win it. They're the favorite. They're the better team overall. They should win it. K. Hazy said, we need to destroy the Pacers. Tired of the dialogue. Me too, K. Hazy. Me too. Me too. David said, I say Knicks in 4 because we were hurt. We win 7, now fully healthy. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. These are 2 different teams. A year older, playing differently, year better. Knicks have obviously overhauled their roster quite a bit. So I can't just go off of last year. I can't. I'd like to, but I can't. SGA gets it over to Wiggins, now over to Holmgren, back to Wiggins on the handoff, all the way to the basket. He gets a layup that goes. Gobert can't catch up. Wiggins was shot out of a cannon there getting to the basket. Get it in the Randall. Edwards is back out there, thankfully. After going back to the locker room to probably get his ankle retaped. Kick it out to Alexander Walker. Made a left corner 3. Out of bounds. Can knock down the right corner 3 and out of bounds off of Holmgren. They get it in the Gobert. Now up top to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo coming to his left. Swings it out to Alexander Walker. They're letting that man fire away, but this time he takes it off the bounce. Kicks it out to Randall. Going to pump fake. One dribble in. All the way to the basket. And a shot clock violation as Randall can't get the shot off in time. Brother, you got to know time and clock, man. You've been in the league too long to get a shot clock violation on a silly play like that. when you had an open look from mid-range and you decided to take it to the basket and didn't get the shot off in time. SGA, mid-range pull-up jumper over Alexander Walker, his cousin. Another great storyline in this series. SGA can't get it to go. Edwards bringing it down. They get it in the Randall. Backing down. Wiggins. A fall away right baseline jumper from Randall. Reminiscent of that 2021 We Here season. Knocked those down with consistency. Knocks that one down there. SGA throws the lob in the home grid. He can't hold on to it, and he falls down, and now it's a 5-on-4 pushing the other way. Over to DiVincenzo. He's going to quickly go to the basket. Shovels it out to Gobert. What was that, Rudy? You're 7'9", bringing the ball down like this and then flipping it up over your head. What was that, Rudy? Go up and dunk it. They can't get to the ball. Dort's going to fire a contested three. Can't get it to go. Gobert just getting the ball knocked out of his hands by Aaron Wiggins. He's playing so small out there, Rudy Gobert. Brother, you're so big to be playing so small right now. Thankfully for the Timberwolves, as Randall fires a deep three. Oh my goodness, he's feeling his 5th three of the game. He's got 18 points. SGA bringing it down. Coming to his left. Off a double screen. Driving it down now. In the lane. Scoop blade with the left hand. Can't get it to go. Gobert. Good box out and rebound. Gets it over to Randall. Hit ahead to DiVincenzo. A right wing three. They're feeling it. Off the back rim. Can't get it to go. Gobert an offensive rebound. Getting slapped around. They call it a jump ball. Gobert and Holmgren going to jump it up. Gobert is flabbergasted at the call. But this guy plays so small, man. This guy's pissing me off here. David said OG got to take Pascal. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Keenan said, yeah, but India's healthier this year too. Hallie basically played bad for a full year after the hammy. Yeah, but he has games like that. He has games like that. He had a game like that against Cleveland. He had like 6 points in the game and like was consistently very good or very comfortable just giving up the ball. You know, and it's like, nah, at times you need to just, you know, be dominant and take the ball. Alexander Walker chucks it up with the shot clock winding down. He can't get it to go after the Edwards air ball. Hit ahead to Lou Dort, 1-on-1 against Najee. He's going to pull it back out to Wallace. Great defense from Minnesota. Now they sprayed out to Holmgren. Gobert comes out to guard him. Holmgren's going to drive it down, stop, turn, fall away jumper in the paint, splashes it. McDaniels on the right wing. Up top, hands it off to Reed. Reed's going to blow past the defense, shoves it over to Gobert, and he gets an easy two-handed slam. Finally, his first points of the night. I forgot, I'm shortchanging Minnesota. It was 38-33, and now it's 40-33. A 7-point lead for them. 3:40 to go. Wallace ends up on the wide open in the right wing for a three, and he knocks it down. Shot Collins said, who's going to stick Halliburton? It's going to be Bridges to start. Anunoby, not really the kind of matchup he thrives in defensively, and you kind of want him in help side on the other end, but they'll do a lot of switching, same way they did against Boston, at least theoretically, that's what's going to happen. And then out of bounds, off of SGA, they're going to say he dribbled it off his own foot. SGA saying, I dribbled it off of McDaniel's foot, but they're going to give it to Minnesota now, and OKC's out of challenges, but we're going to get a stoppage and play, a timeout here. That's definitely off of McDaniel's foot, but OKC's out of challenges, so they can't even challenge it. TNR said, Hallie only came back early because he wanted a 65-game season for the money. Frankly, a bad move. I don't know. You get the money, and now you're back fully healthy? I don't know. What was it a bad move? If I told you, hey, man, you gotta do this, but you're going to be hampered for a while. You got to do your job, but you're going to be hampered for a while. And it's going to affect your performance, and people are going to start being like, ooh, you're not very good at this. But you're going to make substantially more money. You'll probably do that. So I don't know if it was a bad move. I don't think so. He's going to get his money. Or I should say he's got his money. Robin said younger Pacers, worn out Knicks. Both teams have players in their primes, man. It's not really how basketball works. You know, I said, I think we'll start with McHale on Hallie. We'll see what happens if McHale can't handle it. McHale should be guarding Halliburton for majority, if not the entire series. He's guarded him well all season. And he's playing his best basketball here in the playoffs. They will not move off of that. The only other option to guard Halliburton is Deuce McBride. But, the way basketball is played, there will be switches, and Anunoby will be switched onto him at times. Josh Hart will definitely be switched onto him at times. I'm sure they'll try to avoid Brunson being switched onto him, but we'll see. David said McHale is going to shut down Hallie and OG on Pascal. The OG Pascal thing is super fun and interesting because of their obvious ties back to Toronto. Toronto people love those two players. And if you listen to Toronto people talk about it, those guys have a great relationship and used to go at it in practice all the time, practicing against each other. And so it's going to be really fun and interesting because they know every nook and cranny and every move that they have. They know them all. They know them all. Raymond Vasquez, what's up, Ray? No matter what, the Knicks taking it all this year. I hope so. I hope so. I said I kind of not sure whether OG should take Siakam or Miles. Siakam. At 1,000% Siakam. Who else is guarding Siakam? Towns? That's what we want to do? I don't know if that's what we want to do. Not sure. Not against it, but I'm not sure that's what we want to do. Maybe as the series goes on, something we try, but I said normally watching Rudy is so frustrating, but I love seeing him torch the Lakers. That was a mess. Yeah, and he's had the advantage here. He's put himself in, and his teammates have put him in advantageous situations, and he has not taken advantage of it at all. He's playing so small here tonight. So small. Bringing the ball down, to his waist. Just bad. Bad all around. Ikene Robinson? What's up, Ikene? There's a former Knick playing on each last remaining team. Which one will get a ring first, meaning whoever made the right decision or was put in the right situation? Possibly. Possibly. Here we go. We're back into it. Under 3 minutes to go. J-Dub swings it out to Caruso. Just under 3 minutes to go. 4-point game. 40-36. It's been a back and forth affair all night, but Minnesota's held the lead for majority of it, even if it is a small one. SGA, a pull-up jumper with 3 defenders around him, the shot clock winding down. The shot clock violation is he doesn't even hit rim. And SGA kind of struggling to navigate some of the defensive pressures these last 2 rounds. Obviously still going to get his. He's still awesome. He's still great. Still an MVP candidate, but he is settling for a lot of tough jumpers. And a lot of his points, almost all of his points tonight, he's 2 for 11 from the field. 7 of his points, he's made 2 baskets. A lot of his points coming from the foul line. SGA goes to the bench, and OKC goes to a zone. Interesting. Conley has it up top, takes it out to Reed. Reed, back to Conley. Conley takes it over to Randall in the corner, pump fakes past Hartenstein, driving it down, draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 more free throws. Another foul on Hartenstein. Love to see Hartenstein struggle. Love to see it. David said, if we play like we played in Game 6, no one's beating us. That is an issue that they've had all year, though, David. If they play well, they're a very difficult team to beat. They don't always play well, man. That's why you play the games. Tim Stanton said, it's been so long since I watched basketball. This time of the year is insane. Hey, man, I've been watching basketball to this point of the year my whole life. I like basketball. Whether the Knicks are playing, I'm watching. Randall knocks down both free throws. Appreciate you, Randall, for knocking down your free throws. You know I love made free throws. And Dort cuts back door. He gets an easy 2-handed slam out of it. 32, 42-38. Very low scoring game here. Edwards has it up top. He's dancing around a McDaniel screen. A pull-up right wing three from him, and he knocks it down. My goodness. The shot making from Minnesota on full display here. SGA driving it down. Pump fakes, kicks it out to Caruso. They swing it around. Dort driving it down, hits Caruso cutting to the basket, and he throws it away. Excellent defense from Timberwolves here. Randall gets it over to Reed. Reed on the right wing. Hands it off to Conley. Hands it off to Randall. Randall trying to get it back to Reed. They get it to him in the post. Backing down J-Dub. Backing him down. Ball knocked out of his hands, and J-Dub comes up with the steal. Not a guy I'd like to attack with a live dribble. That guy's got great hands. SGA to the basket. Scoop layup. Can't get it to go. And again, flopping around looking for a call, and they don't give it to him. Edwards catches, pump fakes, driving to his left, down the lane, goes right into the defender, and he draws the foul on Caruso. He's going back to the foul line for 2 more free throws. And now Minnesota's starting to catch up at the foul line with the foul line disparity. SGA was, SGA, yes, but the Thunder in general were dominating by getting to the foul line while Minnesota was dominating with their shot making and three-point prowess. And now, while Minnesota is still dominating with the three-point prowess, they're now starting to catch up in the free throw game. As Randall got to the foul line, now Edwards getting to the foul line. Edwards knocks down the first one. He's got one more coming, and you could see it with the score. And I'm shortchanging Minnesota. No, I'm not. My bad. 38-46. Sadu Berry, what's up, Sadu? Edwards knocks down both free throws, a 9-point lead for Minnesota. SGA bringing it down against McDaniels. He struggled all night against them. He spins to the basket, gets blocked by McDaniels. And SGA continues to struggle yet tonight. Here comes Edwards, hit ahead to Randall, extra pass. Conley sidesteps, puts up the right wing three. Comes up short. Would have put a big damper in this OKC crowd right now. And they feel like they're on pins and needles a little bit. As McDaniels fouls SGA, trying to fight over a screen, ends up tripping him a little bit. He said Dante did very well in Halliburton last year. He did all right. He did good. I don't know if I would say very well, but he did fine. David said Cat is a key for series, but we need OG and McHale offensively too. I mean, that's just the whole team. We need everyone to be able to contribute. Isaiah Joe has it. And they call a late foul. You know, I said we had a crazy game in Denver back in November, December. We did. That was the OG 40-point game. They're capable, man. They're capable. The issue is the consistency, right? And that's the issue for every team. Every team is trying to find some level of consistency with how well they play, right? Like OKC's other guys outside of SGA have really struggled kind of all playoffs long outside of the Memphis series because Memphis was so bad. As SGA's at the foul line, he knocks down both free throws. Sadu Berry said OKC did a mistake going to Game 7 against Denver. I don't know if that was their decision, Sadu. Edwards going to the basket. He's trying to throw it down. He had bad intentions going in there. He gets fouled by Dort. Doesn't get the dunk to go, obviously. But he's going back to the foul line. And Edwards got some words, man. I love it. I love it. So Edwards at the foul line. Knocks down the first one. Saying, anything you could do, I could do better, SGA. You want to get to the foul line? Let's get to the foul line. Let's make it a foul shooting contest. I'm bigger, stronger, more aggressive than you. What he's saying right now. Edwards does miss the second free throw. Long rebound. Holmgren ends up with it. And the ref blows the whistle. And a clock malfunction saves OKC a little bit because they were having trouble bringing the ball down after the missed free throw. As Minnesota's in full denial. 30 seconds to go. SGA is going to bring it down against McDaniels. Full head of steam, driving it down at the foul line, inside the J-Dub. Pump fake, goes up, lays it up and in. Conley bringing it down for what should be the final offensive possession of the game. Of the quarter, excuse me, not the game. Of the quarter here from Minnesota. They get it up top to Edwards. Isaiah Joe switches onto him. Now they switch it back. J-Dub. Now they get it over to Randall, being guarded by Wallace. Under 10 to go. They bring two. Randall takes his eye off of it, and J-Dub takes it right out of his hands. J-Dub all the way to the basket, blows the layup. Joe right there gets fouled by Randall. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Randall giveth and he taketh, man. He's hit, 5 threes tonight? He's hit 5 threes tonight. That's his 3rd turnover and his 3rd foul. Randall and Edwards exchanging words. Kwame Robertson, what's up, Kwame? I just realized every team in the conference finals is a player that was once a Knick. Dobbin, Harnstein, Randall. Knicks know how to pick folks. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If that was evidence of anything, it was evidence of how good the Knicks are at obtaining players and cultivating good talent. Obtaining talented players and also cultivating and bringing the best talent out of them. Shaq Hollis said, I wonder why Edwards doesn't get into the dunk contest. Because there's nothing to gain from being in the dunk contest anymore. Anthony Edwards is likely to never compete in the dunk contest, and it will affect nothing about his career. Nobody cares about the dunk contest anymore. The dunk contest is not the cool thing to be a part of. It's also stressful. There's also far more to lose. Why isn't John in the dunk contest? Why isn't Zion in the contest? Why isn't Edwards in imagine that dunk contest. Edwards, Ja, Zion. You could throw in any random 4th guy, and it would instantly be probably the most athletic dunk contest we'd ever seen. Or we had seen since Levine and Gordon went at it in their primes. It would have been the greatest dunk contest since then. But we're never going to... Or Amon Thompson. Amon Thompson is great. Wish we had him. He was what, the 3rd pick? I think everybody wishes they had that guy. Or the 4th pick, something like that. But yeah, you could throw the Thompson twins in there in the dunk contest as well. The league's probably never been more athletic than it is right now. Right? The talent, the athleticism of these players right now is probably... The league is filled with more of those guys than ever before. And not a single one of them give a damn about being in the dunk contest, because why would they? It doesn't improve your profile. The best thing that could happen is you win it, and a week later, nobody cares. Or the negatives of it, you can't make a dunk. You lose in the first round. You only have 2 dunks in the contest. You get embarrassed, and nobody ever forgets how bad you were in the dunk contest. Okay, he said next year's dunk contest will be all G League. Nobody cares. It'd be all G League. It could be the stars. I don't think too many people would be all that interested in tuning in. They would tune into it this one time because it's been so long since we've had stars in the dunk contest, but they wouldn't stay. 2-3 years from now, they wouldn't stay in the dunk contest. They wouldn't. I think the dunk contest is just boring now. I think dunking is boring now. Dunk contest was cool when it was new. Nobody cares about the dunk contest anymore. Right? Remember when the 3-point contest became really popular? Nobody cares about the 3-point contest anymore. I can't tell you who won it the last time, right? It was Tyler Hero. Hero won it. Towns won it the year before that, and I can't remember anymore. That's it. Kinar said Zion dunk contest for sure. Ja, Thompson, and all against McClung. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. Right? It's cool for Mac McClung because he's a G League guy. He's not even a G League guy. He's out of the league. He's out of the league, right? He plays overseas. He comes back to the G League so he can be a part of the dunk contest in the NBA, but, you know? Let's look at this box score a little bit. We are here at halftime. Halftime score is 48-44. Oh, forgot to give OKC there. Right, shortchanging them a bit. 48-44, 4-point game. Definitely feels like Minnesota is giving away a big opportunity here with Julius Randle going 5 for 6 from 3-point range. Like that's pretty big. He's got 20 points in the first half. Edwards with 13. He's going at it as well. Finally starting to get to the foul line a little bit. They've taken 11 foul shots to the Thunder's 15. Started to even out in the second quarter, but then you would think Minnesota would have a larger than 4-point lead here. They've hit 10 threes to the Thunder's 3. They're 15 for 40 from the field, 15 for 43 by Minnesota. So where is the discrepancy being made up when they've only hit 3 more free throws in the 7 more made threes for Minnesota? Where is that discrepancy? Minnesota's actually taken more shots. They've hit 3 more free throws. Where is the 7 discrepancy coming from? It's not just turnovers. Because OKC is 8 turnovers to the Timberwolves 9. But they've both made 15 field goals overall. OKC's only hit 3 threes. Minnesota's hit 10. 8 free throws for Minnesota. 11 free throws for OKC. Where's the discrepancy that makes up this score? I don't understand it. I don't understand the math. There's a 21-point discrepancy in 3-point shooting. The math should be mathing. But the math is not mathing. I don't understand. What am I missing, guys? What am I missing? How is this a 4-point game when Minnesota's hit 7 more threes than OKC? Kwame Robinson and ones. But they've only hit 3 more free throws, Kwame. They've only hit 3 more free throws. Minnesota's made 8. OKC's made 11. That's 3 points. There's a 21-point discrepancy between 3-point shooting. They've hit 3. That gives them 9 points. Minnesota's hit 10. That gives them 30 points. 21-point discrepancy in 3-point shooting. They've both made 15 field goals in the game overall. Meaning that OKC's hit 12 2-pointers. Minnesota's only hit 5 2-pointers. That's because they've hit 10 threes. What am I missing here? What am I not seeing, guys? How do we end up with the score? I'm not doing the math. I'm just going to assume it's correct because why would it not be? But what am I missing here? Keanu Bryan, what's up, Keanu? Keanu says, could they kill it with Wemby? Oh, we're talking about Giannis to the Spurs? That's cool. Keanu said, with this stat line and all those threes, OKC is definitely going to win. I don't understand how this is a 4-point game looking at the box score. Keanu said, not seeing turnovers. Turnovers are about the same. They have 9 turnovers to OKC's 8 turnovers. Right? And turnovers are usually a sign of one team getting more shot attempts and making more shots than the other. But OKC's 15 for 40 from the field, and Minnesota's 15 for 43. So Minnesota's actually winning the possession battle with 3 more shot attempts. They have 26 total rebounds to OKC's 24. Everything across the board is pretty even, except for the 3-point shooting, where Minnesota's hit 7 more threes, and yet it's only a 4-point game. How does that make sense? How is OKC hanging in here? I said offensive fouls, but offensive fouls are turnovers. And both teams have about the same turnovers. Right? And even if it were offensive fouls, the shot Minnesota's winning the possession battle. They've taken 3 more shot attempts. What am I not seeing? If they get 21 points from threes, and they got 10 points from twos, that's 31 points, plus the 8 free throws. What am I missing? They got 10 points from 3, that's 30 points. They got 10 points from twos. They've hit 15 shots, so 5 of them were 2-point shots. That's 10 points. That gives them 40, and they hit 8 free throws, which is 48 points. That math adds up. Now for OKC, they've hit 15 shots. 3 of them were 3-pointers. That's 9 points. That means 12 of them were 2-pointers. That's 24 points. 11 free throws. That's 35, plus the 9 threes. That gives them 44. The math is kind of crazy. With a +7 in the 3-point department, you would think OKC is in a much better position right now. It's pretty crazy. Shah said, "What's the points off of turnovers?" Points off of turnovers, 18 for OKC, 4 from Minnesota. Too many live ball turnovers for Minnesota, eating the easy baskets for OKC. If they can clean up their turnovers, their live ball turnovers, it would shut off the water from the Thunder because they've really struggled to score in the half court. 4 points in the paint for Minnesota, 22 points in the paint for OKC. Shah said, "There you go." But the math still doesn't make sense to me. Because that's telling me where the points are coming from. But they've made 15, both teams have made 15 shots. One of them made 7 more threes. And it only equates to a 4-point lead. The math doesn't make sense to me. Minnesota's definitely putting themselves behind the 8 ball by not being able to cash in on this pretty good shooting. I mean, Alexander Walker's 1 for 7 from 3, which isn't great. DiVincenzo's 1 for 6 from 3, which isn't great. Overall, they're a combined 2 for 13 from 3, which is horrendous. But outside of that, Julius Randle saved them tonight. Julius Randle doesn't go 5 for 6 from 3. He goes 2 for 4, 2 for 5. Timberwolves are trailing at halftime. And their defense has been locked in, and they've been great, their defense, but, man. SGA shooting 9 free throws in the first half. Pretty crazy. Edwards starting to match him a little bit in that second quarter. Starting to get to the foul line more. Did 7 free throws. Drolano, what's up, Drolano? Second half prediction. Randall will slow down his hot shooting. Edwards will look to start to take over the game a little bit. And the bench will actually make some shots. Naj Reid 0 for 3 from three-point range. DiVincenzo 1 for 6. Alexander Walker 1 for 7. Overall, they are 2 for 16 from three-point range, which is horrendous. I don't have to tell you guys how bad that is. You guys know. You guys got 2 eyes. You got 2 ears. You know. That's bad. That's horrendous. It's horrible. Not going to get you a win. The defense from Alexander Walker was solid. Naj Reid, I thought, was also very solid, despite not being able to make a shot. 5 boards, 2 assists. But you're not there just to do the intangible stuff. They also need buckets from you, right? From one of you three. One of you three need to get them buckets. All 3 of them are doing really great intangible stuff. But we need some buckets out of you guys. David said Wolves in 6. I hope so, David. I hope so. John said, I forgot you said you were going live today. What's been the showdown? Who do y'all think's winning tonight? I hope Minnesota takes it, Drolano. They've had the advantage all night, despite it only being a 4-point lead. Feels like it should be more. But a low-scoring game. 23-20 after the first, 25-24 in the second. Minnesota definitely has not taken advantage of the opportunities they've had so far. Delano said SGA versus Ant-Man, but the team's gone. Team's going to come through when them boys get tired, dropping 30 and 40. Are you saying it's going to come down to the others, to the supporting cast? Because I don't know if that's something that I like in Minnesota's favor, right? I definitely like that in Shea's favor with Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. By the way, both of those guys pretty invisible. 6 points for J-Dub, 2 points for Chet Holmgren on a lob. He got it off a lob. 2 points for Lou Dort. He's only taking 2 threes here. That's a guy with no conscience who likes to bomb away. The bench actually came in and was great for them. Russo hit a 3. Isaiah Joe hit a 3. He got to the foul line. Jason Wallace hit a 3. Actually, all 3 of their 3-point makes came off the bench. So, all right, here we go. David said Diva's going to catch fire. I mean, he hasn't really done that all year long. I hope so, because they're going to need somebody off the bench to catch fire. Either him, Alexander Walker, or Naj Reid. Arnstein has it out on the perimeter, hands it off to J-Dub, being guarded by Edwards. J-Dub coming to his right, off the screen. Gobert switches onto him, step back, follow away jumper over him, comes up short. Long rebound, Harnstein tips it over to Dort, back to J-Dub. J-Dub's going to look to attack Conley, spins to his right, down low, flips it up at the basket to Harnstein. He can't get it to go, and Randall knocks it out of his hands. Love to see Harnstein be terrible. They get it over to Edwards for a pull-up 3 in transition. In and out, halfway down, he can't get it to stay. And then Gobert gets fouled as he can't grab the rebound. Keenar said, this feels like an OKC win to me. It does too, doesn't it, Keenar? It does. That's upsetting. Conley gets it back to Randall. Randall over to Edwards. Edwards over to McDaniels. Back to Edwards. Being guarded by Harnstein. Harnstein knocks it out of his hands. And then Edwards, going for the loose ball, runs right into SGA and fouls him. That's 3 fouls on Edwards. That's going to come into play. SGA up top, coming to his left, pocket pass to Harnstein. Harnstein tries to kick it out to Chet Holmgren and turns it over. You love to see Harnstein struggle, man. You absolutely adore to see Harnstein struggle. Now 1-on-1 against Edwards. Cook him, Edwards. Blows right past him. Down the lane, kicks it out. McDaniels in open corner 3. He can't get it to go. Gobert fighting for the rebound. SGA pulls it out. Here comes SGA. SGA coming to his right off the Harnstein screen. Driving it down in the mid-range. Pump fake. Steps through. Stops. Turns. Spins. Gobert does a great job staying in front of him. They kick it out to J-Dub. J-Dub in open 3. And he knocks it down. It's a 1-point game, y'all. A 1-point game. Conley has it up top, being guarded by SGA. Gets it over to Gobert, back to Conley. Conley's going to dance around the screen and put up the three. Can't get it to go. They're daring him to shoot. He can't get it to go. Here comes J-Dub. I don't like this for Minnesota. J-Dub crosses over to his left. Step back, fall away two. Way long, can't get it to go. Way off. Here comes Edwards bringing it down. Edwards up top. Going to dance with it. Coming to his right off the Gobert screen. Now crossing over to his left off the re-screen. Hit Gobert, comes to the basket. Takes his 2 steps and he throws it away. Gobert has been horrendous tonight. Defense has been all right. His offense has been putrid. SGA inside the Holmgren, who flips it up with the right hand over Rando, and he gets it to go. And OKC has retaken the lead 49-48. This is what you didn't want to see if you were rooting for Minnesota. Conley coming to his left of the Gobert screen, puts up the floater, gets it to go. Now it's a back and forth affair. Both teams going at it. 50-49, 9:20 to go. J-Dub bringing it down. Gets it over to Holmgren. Holmgren driving it down to the basket. Slips and falls, and they call a foul on McDaniels. Slim Stanley said, that's why I can't root for OKC. It's Harnstein. Me too. Me too, Slim. I've been rooting against OKC all year. Been rooting against Harnstein all year. That Benedict Arnold. Holmgren, when he went down, showed the replay, grabbing at that knee a little bit. Not what you want to see. He missed 2 free throws earlier in the game, the way he did in game 1 against Denver. He knocks this first one down. Ties it at 50. Tina Hart said, Gobert cannot receive the ball if he is not 1 step from the hoop, period. He's Mitchell Robinson, right? We have a rule with Mitchell Robinson. Don't pass the ball to Big Mitch, right? Put the ball up off the glass, he's going to grab a rebound. But Gobert is not the offensive rebound that Robinson is. He's actually been pretty bad on the glass. McDaniels, nice mid-range pull-up jumper from him. Why did they change the score to 53-50? Minnesota scored. What is the score operator doing? Should be 52-50. SGA a follow-away jumper, and they give SGA the and one. Why does OKC have 53? What happened? Oh, Holmgren hit the other free throw. I'm sorry. And now SGA knocks down the pull-up mid-range jumper over McDaniels, and they call the foul McDaniels. You see the replay on it. Where did he foul him at? I don't know where I saw the foul. I don't know where the foul was. I'm going to be honest. Where was the foul there? SGA 2 for 13 from the field tonight. It's been bad. Been bad. 25-26 chance was popping, my guy. You know, I said Shea waking up. Is he? Is he? Let's see him make a couple more baskets. But that mid-range step-back jumper, he can get to it every time. He's got to be able to knock it down. He hasn't knocked it down with regularity tonight. That's the 4th foul on Jaden McDaniels, by the way. That's a big deal. 3 fouls on Edwards, 4 fouls on McDaniels. Rando has it up top, backing down Dort, kicks it out to Conley. Conley, up top, driving it down, gets fouled by SGA. That's the 1 foul on SGA. Victor Marquez, what's up, Victor? Kenny McLeod, what's up, Kenny? Randall 5 for 6 from 3. Yeah, and yet, only a 2-point lead. Or actually, now it's a 2-point deficit for Minnesota. Victor Marquez said, look at your chef suited up in next year. Can't wait for tomorrow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what time it is, my man. Conley at the foul line, knocks down the first one. 25-26 said, don't sleep on Minnesota. I got Minnesota in 6. 25-26. Delano said, I feel like y'all niggas got a better chance of beating them if the Pacers don't pull your plug. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. SGA is 8 for 10 from the foul line today. Making his living at the basket. Making his living at the stripe. Conley knocks down both free throws, tying it back at 54. A little over 8 minutes to go. Isaiah Joe subbed back in over to Harnstein, a floater from him. He gets it to go over Gobert. Edwards bringing it down. The crowd's starting to get into it. As OKC's battled back to retake the lead here in this third quarter. Get it over to Randall, back to Edwards. Edwards being guarded by Dort. Edwards is going to dance with it. Come to his right, off the screen, a pull-up jumper from him. He knocks down the three. A tough shot for Edwards. Talking about somebody getting it going. Anthony Edwards is getting it going. Joe back up top to Alexander Walker. Gilgeous-Alexander. He can't knock down the pull-up three to try to match Edwards. Edwards with the rebound. He's bringing it down. Coming to his right. Snaking it back to his left. Stepping back. Crossing over. Back to his right. Down the lane. A lot of contact. Kicks out to Conley. Conley a three. He rattles it in. And a timeout for OKC. Back to a 4-point lead for Minnesota. It is free throws versus threes tonight. This is crazy. Stealth Genetics. What's up, Stealth? Delano said Halliburton versus Brunson is going to be crazy. I wish I can get paid faster so I can meet you in New York. You go into the game. I get paid. I'll buy our tickets. I hope you get paid a lot, Delano, because those tickets are not cheap, man. This is the conference finals. It's going to be $1,000 plus. So Janik said Halliburton's going to be outplayed. Siakam will have to be a superhero. And having to be a superhero against OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson is a rough ask for Siakam. A rough ask, though. That's a rough ask. But Halliburton had a good game. I did this the other day. But I'll show you guys here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And we can do this. Before we come back, let's look at this. Right? So tomorrow our game starts. We go to these two teams. We can look at if they'll show it to us. If they'll show it to us. Where is it? Where is it? Our previous matchups. Where are our previous matchups? Ay, 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 ay. Here we go. Regular season series. The Knicks won the regular season 2-1. We know the regular season doesn't matter because the latest game they played was in February. Both teams weren't what they are now. But if we look at the last game they played, the Knicks won by 13. The first game they played, I'm going to get that out of there. That was the second game of the year. Bridges went off. A great game. The Knicks blew the Pacers out. We'll look at these two games, even though they're still really early in the year. Actually, let's look at this one first. This one's really early in the year, but the Knicks lost this one. Why did the Knicks lose? Look at the box score. Bridges only had 8. Anunoby dropped 25. Towns had 30. Brunson had 33. Josh Hart had 16. Why did they lose? Got nothing off the bench. McBride with 7. Sims with 2. Tyler Kolek played 2 minutes. We went with a 7-man rotation tonight. Horrendous rotation from Tom Thibodeau. Indiana, Ben Mathurin went off, 38 points. That's going to be a tough matchup for the Knicks. Halliburton went off, 35 points. 4 for 10 from 3, 7 for 9 from 3 for Ben Mathurin. Miles Turner, 5 for 8 from 3. No Nembhard, no Neesmith, by the way. And they scored 132. Couldn't miss tonight. 21 threes for them. Right? If we look at the last game they played of the regular season, what happened in this one that gave the Knicks a 13-point lead? Precious Achiuwa was in the starting lineup. No Anunoby. Towns dropped 40. Brunson only scored 8. I think he rolled his ankle in this game and had to leave or something. Only played 23 minutes. He was in foul trouble. 8.7 assists for Brunson. That's it. But Towns dropped 40. Josh Hart had 30. Off the bench, McBride gave us 15. Shamit actually scored 11. Campaign gave us 9. So we actually got some contributions off the bench, 35 points off the bench, which is nice. But all right, we're back into this game. And those don't matter. That was so early in the year, it didn't matter. As J-Dub knocked down another basket. It was back to a 2-point game. Conley gets it over to Gobert, back to Conley. Conley's going to drive it down, kick it out to Randall. Randall on the left wing being guarded by Dort. Driving it down in the post. Kicks it out. Conley, right corner, fires it with the shot clock winding down. Can't get it to go. Gobert battling on the glass. He had it in one hand. They knocked it out. Over to Conley. He's going to fire another 3. Comes up short on that one. Now here comes the Thunder bringing it down the other way. Subjanic said Bridges is going to go crazy on Indy. And they call a moving screen on Dort, an offensive foul. He should. This is the best basketball he's played all year, the most consistent basketball he's played all year. It's also the best defense he's played all year. So he should be locked in on that Halliburton matchup. Victor Marquez said, last night game against the Pacers, OG got hurt, and Mitchell Robinson was not there either. Absolutely. Robinson did not play in any of the 3 games. The Pacers were also missing key role players in pretty much each of those games. Nembhard and Nesmith missed a majority of the early part of the year. Gobert gets fouled going to the basket. So not much to go on based off of the regular season, just something to really look at. Towns has kind of had their way with their front court going up against them. So Genetics said OG will be busy on Siakam and Brunson is going to draw all the help defense. He should. Gobert misses a free throw. He should, man. These are all things that should happen, right? But it's often not how things go. Boston all series long was like, hey, Tatum and Brown are going to dictate the help. Derek White and Drew Holiday and Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser and Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford are going to knock down 3s. Thing that won them the championship the previous year, they're going to dominate the Knicks in the series this year. And that did not happen. So it should, right? It should go the Knicks' way as Gobert misses 2 free throws. But oftentimes, that's why you play the games, because it doesn't always go the way you think it is. Isaiah Joe driving it down against Edwards off the missed 2 free throws from Gobert. Stops in the paint, kicks out to J-Dub. J-Dub up top being guarded by Randall. In and out dribble, coming to his left, dancing with it. In and out dribble, coming to his right, puts up the floater, gets it to go. Back tied at 60. A little over 5 minutes to go. Tobe Jenner said, Mather and the little white boy Nesmith will be the ones to watch. Talking about McConnell? Steven Chinzo can't get the 3 to go. Kenrich Williams with a good box and a rebound over Gobert. How do you let that happen, Gobert? Here comes SGA driving it down against Alexander Walker. Mid-range pull-up jumper, and he gets it to go. And a timeout for Minnesota as they're now down by 2 with 5:25 exactly to go. So Jenny said, Knicks 2025 champs. The window is small. We can make noise this year. Yeah, man. I've been very, very consistent all year. I've called the Knicks a dark horse championship team. And that if they were to win, if they were to compete and win a championship this year, I've said this all year, a lot would have to go their way. And it has. They have played their best basketball of the season here in the playoffs. They got a first-round matchup against Detroit where they had the talent advantage, and they ended up beating them in 6 games. They played Boston in the second round, and Boston has a historically bad shooting start to the series. The Knicks, again, playing their best basketball of the season, outplay them in the first 4 games overall and take a 3-1 lead. Tatum goes down with the injury, and they end up closing that series out in 6. And now you're playing Indiana because Indiana took down the team with the best record in the East this year in Cleveland. And now you have revenge against the team that you probably are much closer to in where both of your teams are against Indiana versus where you had to go against Cleveland. There's a lot you would have to maneuver and change about the way you play. Against Indiana, like you're also gonna have to maneuver and change the way you play. That happens in every playoff matchup, but a little less so because you have the advantage, and Indiana will be moving and shifting a couple of things that they do well on, right? And then you'll have to respond to those things. Stoke Genetic said the chip is wide open. It's never been open. It's never been more open than it is now across the league, right? This year will mark the 7th straight season in which we will crown a new champion. No team has duplicated a championship in almost a decade. The last team to do it was the Warriors, right? That's how long ago it's been. Toronto in 2019, the Lakers in 2020, the Bucks in 2021, Denver in 2022. Who else won? Who am I missing? Boston won it last year. The year before that was Denver. Oh, Boston won it last year. Year before that was Denver. Year before that was... Who am I missing? Who has won these championships? As NBA championship. Who am I missing? Time for JB and Co to get a ring. I would love it. I would love it. Joseph Nelson, what's up, Joe? Give the Knicks credit. Our defense has them shook. Truth be told, we have the league shook. I don't know if the league is shook, brother, but definitely they have improved their defense. Here we go. We're back into it. Alexander Walker gets it over to Edwards, who remains in the game, along with Randall, DiVincenzo, Naj Reid, who's in the game now. Randall driving it down. Fall away. Mid-range jumper comes up short. Isaiah Joe with the rebound, and the crowd's really into it now. SGA down the lane, scoop layup. Can't get the layup to go, but gets his own offensive rebound and put back. DiVincenzo, as he comes up limping, has been bad in this game here tonight. He has been bad. Naj Reid backing down. J-Dub spins right into SGA and loses his bounce and loses the handle. SGA picks it up. Here comes J-Dub, kicks it out to Wallace. Wallace ran off the line, kicks it back over to J-Dub. He's ran off the line. He's going to pump fake and attack the basket, doing what he does best, and he gets the layup to go. And a timeout yet again from Minnesota as OKC's taking a 6-point lead. Now their largest lead of the game. Here they come. Here they come. Victor Marquez said, think Jalen Brunson hurt his hand in the Pacers game. Not had his best game, only 8 points in that game. Yeah, that was the last game they played. Boston won it. Then Denver won it. Then the Warriors won it. I forgot about the Warriors championship. Then the Bucks won it. Lakers won it. Toronto won it. Those are your last 6 champions. 6 different teams. 6 different teams. A lot of the NBA is getting younger and younger. It is not. It is not. The NBA is actually getting a little bit older. Because players are playing for much longer. 25-26. Knicks could beat both these teams. Yeah, they could. They could. Minnesota has it. Rando has it in the high post, being guarded by Kenrich Williams. Swings through to his left, down the lane, kicks it out to Naj Reid, a left corner three. He's open. He continues to misfire from three-point range. Now here comes SGA coming down the other way. They already have a 6-point lead and momentum on their side, and the crowd on their side, as SGA gets fouled by DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo has been actively bad here tonight, man. It's been a rough night for Donta. Dove Genetics said, Miles Turner being the X factor means Knicks in 6, respectfully. I don't know about that. Miles Turner's good. He's good. I think their X factor is Matherin. They can get Matherin going. As Naj Reid blocks SGA at the basket. Excellent recovery from Naj Reid. Come over for that block. Edwards trying to dance on the other end. Push off, mid-range jumper, can't get it to go. J-Dub with a nice, big, strong rebound in the paint. He's going to bring it down. Leaves it off for Isaiah Joe. Transition three, he can't get it to go. Good box out and rebound from Alexander Walker and gets it over to Edwards. Edwards bringing it down. Dancing with it, in and out dribble. Down the lane, scoop blade with the right hand. Got it to go. Beautiful move from Edwards. Quiets the crowd down just a bit. Just a bit. SGA driving it down. He gets tripped up. And Timberwolves are frustrated with the call here. Chris Finch looking at the bench. And Minnesota's going to use the challenge here. I mean, SGA just falls down and the refs blow the whistle. Kind of gross. Kind of gross. Trelano said, ain't nobody pulling LeBron's. Steph Curry's 37. KD's 37, right? Jokic should play into his late 30s. Giannis will play for a very long time. A lot of people are going to start pulling LeBron's, man. They're not going to be, they're probably not going to play as high level as LeBron's been able to play, but you never know. With modern medicine, man, people are going to be playing into their mid to late 30s. They're already playing into their mid to late 30s. Look at Chris Paul at 40, right? It used to be a well-known thing that small guards don't age well, and here's Chris Paul at 40, still starting point guard in the NBA. Like, come on, man. Successful challenge for Minnesota, no foul. Genetic said CP3 played 82 games this year. At 40 years old, man. At 40 years old. Slim said it's been a fair officiated game so far. I don't think it's been egregious, but SGA literally just slipped and fell. Nobody touched him, and they called the foul for him. And it's kind of been that way all night for SGA. Gets breathed on, and they call the foul for him. They get it into Kenrich Williams. Williams is going to dance with it. Hands it off to Wallace. Wallace is going to drive it down. They give him the lane. Kicks it out to Caruso. Extra pass to Holmgren. Extra pass to Williams. Kenrich Williams, mid-range pull-up jumper over DiVincenzo, and he knocks it down, because of course he does. And here comes Anthony Edwards. Edwards bringing it down against Wallace. Coming to his left off the Gobert screen, snaking it back to his right hand, kicks it out to Alexander Walker. Gonna pump fake, sidestep for a right corner three. Comes up short on it. SGA with the rebound. Minnesota now not knocking down the threes, and now they're down by 6. This is what was the concern, as Kenrich Williams knocks down a straightaway three. Largest lead of the game for OKC. This was my concern for Minnesota. They knocked down a ton of threes in that first half. Had a 7 made 3 advantage as Najee tosses up an air ball. Minnesota at halftime hit 10 threes to OKC's 3. They had a 7 made 3 advantage, and they only had a 4-point lead. And now that the three-point shots are not falling here in the second half, as SGA knocks down yet another mid-range jumper, and a double-digit lead is opened up for OKC, now Minnesota's starting to fall behind. A 17-2 run for the Thunder. Anthony Edwards dancing around the screen, a deep pull-up three from him. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Holmgren with the rebound, and here comes SGA. I said, looked like an OKC game. Yeah. And a foul on Kenrich Williams setting the illegal screen. Self-Generic said, the SGA merchant highlights are insane. Look it up if you want to laugh. I've seen them stuff. I've seen them. Self-Generic said, he literally has an hour worth of film not being touched and going to the line. That's, DiVincenzo right wing three. And he silences the crowd just for a minute there, knocking down that three. Needed it. They needed it. SGA bringing it down against Edwards. Draws the foul, gets the and one. And SGA starting to get it going now. Now he's getting it going. Mid-range shot falling. Still getting to the foul line. He gets the and one here. That's 4 fouls on Edwards. And just a little touchy touch foul from Edwards. But I'm sure everyone will talk about how great SGA was and how every single one of these fouls are definitely fouls. And then when Brunson plays tomorrow, as SGA knocks down the free throw, they'll talk about how Brunson is a foul merchant. These narratives, man, these narratives. DiVincenzo has it at the top and gets fouled by Kenrich Williams. Slim Slam said, it's going to feel good to beat OKC if Randall can't handle the job. I mean, it's game one. But I don't think either team has played particularly super well. And OKC is starting to pull away here. So unless Minnesota can start knocking down the perimeter shot again, their chances are kind of slipping by here. They got to survive the remainder of this quarter, this last minute here, as the rookie Jalen Clark is in. Alexander Walker to the basket, kicks it out on Najee. A quick fire out of the right corner, can't get it to go. And more misfiring from Minnesota here. SGA bringing it down. Gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Wallace. Wallace driving to his right, putting his head down, attacking, loses the ball, dives on it, fighting for it. And a jump ball between DiVincenzo and Wallace. Arson, meanwhile, Brunson's got double black eyes, no call. Yeah, I know. Subgenetic said, who you got for MVP? I got Joker. Jokic is by far the best player in the NBA. Well, that's never been the way we've decided the MVP. SGA's had the more overall impressive year. The MVP should be Shea. Right? If that were the case, LeBron would have 10 MVPs, Jordan would have 10 MVPs. Like, but that's never been the way we've decided who is the MVP. Never been the way. So if Jokic wins it this year, I'll be a little disappointed in the league and the voters. Jalen Clark driving it down, draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line, 2 free throws. OKC with an 11-point lead with 7.4 to go here in the third. Minnesota just has to survive the remainder of the quarter, and they have for the most part. They didn't drop down like by 15 or anything like that. It's going to be, if Clark can knock down these free throws, a 9-point game going into the fourth quarter. That's manageable, comebackable. Joe Janik said, and no one gets calls like SGA unless we're talking Harden's MVP year. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. As Clark misses a free throw. Got one more coming. Clark does knock down the second free throw. There you go, rookie. J-Dub, quick hit ahead in the left corner to Wallace. Back to J-Dub. He's going to fire left wing three. Airballs it. And that's going to pretty much put an end to the quarter. 0.1 on the clock. So it is a 10-point game. Going into the fourth quarter. 66 points through 3 quarters for Minnesota, guys. 76 points for OKC, which is fine. They're going to hit 100 most likely here. All they got to do is score 24. Minnesota's got to score 34. So it's going to have to be a huge defensive fourth quarter here for Minnesota and a big offensive quarter. They got to start knocking down some of these shots. Mr. Freckles, what's up, Mr. Freckles? Wish we could get Dante back in the offseason. We cannot. We got to get over that. I don't know how many times I got to read that message this season. It's not happening. 0% chance. You know what I said? Mods, it's just me, brother. It's just me. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Snowgenic said, I'm trying. I'm trying, man. But they're far more active tonight than they usually are. Subgenic said, Wolves play best when Randall facilitates unless Conley is there. Going through him makes them work. Why? But it does. Because Randall's a great facilitator, and he's big and strong and difficult to guard against. And so oftentimes teams have to bring a second defender over to corral him. But the Thunder are just happy to live with one-on-one play and forcing him to shoot fall-away jumpers because they have the double bigs and Harnstein and Holmgren. And they also have J-Dub, who is big and strong and lengthy and can bother Randall on these drives. And so Randall's having to settle for a lot of perimeter shots. I don't think he scored a basket in the paint tonight. All of his points have come from the perimeter, and he didn't score in that third quarter. He's still stuck on 20 points. Edwards now up to 18. He only scored 5 in that quarter. He's 5 for 12 from the field. SGA is now up to 23, 7 for 21 from the field, and 9 for 11 from the foul line. J-Dub up to 15 tonight. 7 solid contributions. Everyone off the bench for Minnesota has scored. George Jones, what's up, George? We got to move on. That's what I'm saying, George Jones. That's what I'm saying. Right? Like the first month and a half, I got it. I got where everybody was coming from. I miss Dante too. He had a great year for the Knicks. But like, it's May, man. We're almost in June, and y'all are still talking about, I wish we had Dante back. Like, get over it. He's gone. He hasn't even had a good year for the Timberwolves for you to really miss him. Dante's averaging 11.7 points. And this season, he shot 39.7% from 3. A lot better than I thought it was. I thought it was closer to like 36, 37. But in the playoffs, he is shooting 25% from three. You missed that? Missed 25% from three? You know? Come on. Move on, guys. Move on. We got Bridges. We're good. We're good. All right, here we go. Start of the fourth quarter, y'all. We're in it. We're in it. J-Dub up top. Driving it to his right. Foul line pull-up jumper. Good defense from DiVincenzo. Reed with the rebound. DiVincenzo on the left wing. They get it in the Randall in the post, being guarded by Wiggins. He's going to dance with it. Drive it down. Spin to his left, in the lane. Kicks it out. Wide open McDaniels, left corner three. Airballs it. Reed with the offensive rebound. Pump fake, lean in. Pump fake, gets blocked by Holmgren. Saves it out to DiVincenzo. A three. And he knocks it down. There you go, Dante. Welcome back to the game, brother. Welcome back to the game. J-Dub coming to his left. Dancing with it. DiVincenzo goes down. He's hurt. Got slapped in the face, looked like by his own teammates. Holmgren knocks down a right corner three, answering those 3 points right back. Not what you want to see. If you're DiVincenzo and you got slapped in the face there, you got to stay on your feet, man. This is playoff basketball. McDaniels driving it down against Holmgren, hands it off to Reed, gets it knocked out of his hands by J-Dub. Naj Reed really struggling tonight has really hurt Minnesota more than anything else tonight. Him not being able to hit a shot at all anywhere has really hurt them. We get an injury timeout with DiVincenzo, a little blood coming out of his nose. Naj Reed's 0 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from three-point range. There it is. There it is, guys. There it is. You know, I said I thought Huck was available. Huck Porty is available. He is available. I said Huck not cleared. He is cleared. He's available to play. He's healthy and available. He played. What are you guys talking about? He played. He got in one of the games in one of the blowouts. He played. He has played before in the playoffs against the Celtics. Played in one of the blowout games. One of the games they lost. DiVincenzo's going to stay in. Minnesota will inbound it. Down 10. 10:30 to go. They get it in the Randall over the top. He has it in the paint against Caruso. Leans in. Fall away jumper. Gets it to go. There you go, Julius. There you go, brother. His first point since halftime. 79-71. J-Dub bringing it down. McDaniels fights over the screen. Stays with him. Loses the handle. Picks it back up. Able to corral it. Kicks over to Caruso. Caruso up top. A straightaway three over DiVincenzo. And he rattles it in. Back to 11. Naj Reed bringing it down. Hands it off to McDaniels. McDaniels over to DiVincenzo. Swings through to his right. Past Holmgren. Gets blocked at the basket by Holmgren. A terrible drive by DiVincenzo. And then a loose ball foul on Minnesota. I think it's on DiVincenzo. Terrible decision. Why are you attacking Chet Holmgren off the bounce like that, man? You didn't even get into his body. You tried to blow past around him. Why? Why are you doing that? J-Dub over to Holmgren. Catches. Pump fakes. Driving it down. To his left. Spins. In the paint. Puts up the floater. Looked like maybe he got blocked. McDaniels picks it up. Great defense from him. Here comes Randall. Randall loses the handle on the ball against Caruso. And now here comes the Thunder. J-Dub's dancing with it. Down the lane. Kicks it out. Wallace, a left corner three. He loves that spot. He can't get it to go, though. Randall with the rebound. Here comes McDaniels. Knocked out of bounds by J-Dub. You know, I said I got ESPN volume off. I can't listen to those clowns. Hey man, their broadcast has been rough for a couple years now. Since they fired Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, they've been pretty close to unlistenable. They swing it over to Reed, Reed down the lane, and he gets the finger roll to go. His first basket of the game. Comes with 9 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter, man. First basket of the game. Aaron Wiggins driving it down, gets tied up by DiVincenzo, but the Thunder end up with it, and they get Holmgren wide open under the basket by himself, and he gets an easy dunk out of it. And time winding down from Minnesota, they got to start coming up with some defensive stops. Get it out to Reed. Reed's going to drive the baseline, go up, gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. You know, I said always liked Naz. Me too. Naz Reed is great. He was a player before he got the big contract from Minnesota that I was hoping the Knicks would look into and make an offer to. But he played so well that Minnesota's not letting him go anywhere. And he's made a home there for sure. Not a Reed. It's a nice friendly bounce, knocks down the first free throw. So Genetic said Dante might have to sit down. He looks confused or scared. He's definitely not scared. Definitely not. That's definitely not what's going on with Dante. He's just not playing well. I don't think he looked confused either. I just don't think he's made very good decisions. Sometimes it's all it comes down to. Like, you just didn't make very good decisions. Reed knocks down both of his free throws, knocks it back to a 9-point game. Edwards has checked back in for the final 8.5 minutes here. Dort is back in. SGA also back in. SGA, inside pass to Holmgren, catches, pivots, throws down a right-handed slam. DiVincenzo bringing it down over to McDaniels. Back to DiVincenzo. He's going to fire a 3. Comes up short on it. Didn't love that shot. Here comes SGA bringing it down. A deep pull-up 3 from SGA. He's trying to put the nail in the coffin. Can't get it to go. Edwards with the rebound. Edwards bringing it down against Caruso. Edwards picks his dribble up. Gets it over to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo back to Edwards. Going to walk into a straightaway 3. Off the back rim. Can't get it to go. Randall comes flying in. Able to save the rebound. Out to DiVincenzo. Great save from Randall. They swing it over to Reed. Reed catches. Pump fakes. Driving to his left. Inside pass to Randall. Randall goes up and gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. So Gen X said Naz Reed has slogans, sandwich, and all kinds of crap named after him. He's got a saying and all that. He'll never be traded. Yeah, he'll never be traded. He's made a home in Minnesota. You know, I said they are playing hard, just not good enough. Yeah. Just, not the greatest shot selection, not the smartest play. Randall knocks down both free throws. 77-86. Back to a 9-point game. SGA bringing it down. Coming to his left off the screen. Leaning in the paint. Hangs in the air. Puts up the floater. Can't get it to go. Holmgren right there for the putback. You got to be able to box out, Randall. You got to be able to box out, brother. What are you doing, my man? What are you doing out there? Might have to get Gobert in there. And I don't even like Gobert, and I don't even think Gobert's played well tonight. Randall against Dort. Randall backing him down. Dort pulls the chair out from under him, and he loses it. Randall hit the floor. Now SGA is going to drive it down, draw yet another foul, and gets the and 1 to go. That might be a nail in the coffin, as early as it is here tonight. Still 7 minutes to go, so still more than enough time to make this comeback. But that might be a nail in the coffin for Minnesota here, as they're really struggling to score the ball with any sort of consistency. And OKC and SGA starting to get what they want, starting to knock down these shots they missed earlier in the game. Slim Slam said it's been a fair officiated game so far. I think it's, for the most part, it's fine. But it's definitely leaned more towards OKC with some of SGA's flopping. He's been rewarded more than I'd like on some of these flops. Like some of these he's just losing his balance and falling over. And he still gets the whistle, but for the most part, it's been fine. I said Randall's trying to dribble through 4 players. Yeah, the Julius Randle experience, right? I mean, this was something we talked about at halftime, where it's like, all right, what happens when some of these shots don't fall down for Randall? Because all of his points had come from the perimeter to start the game. He had 5 threes, hit a couple free throws, and then knocked down a baseline fall away mid-range jumper. Didn't have any points in the paint, and that wasn't a good sign at halftime. We talked about it. They hit 10 threes, and they were up 4 points. What happens if those 3-point shots stop falling? They had 10 at halftime. They have 14 now. So they've hit 4 threes in the second half here, and now they're down by 14. Right? Crazy how that happens. OKC had 3 threes at halftime. They are now sitting at 7, so they've only hit 4. They've only taken 17. I mean, they're putting their head down, and they're attacking the basket right now. Subgenetic said Randall was the playmaker most of the year, and point forward was his role. Yeah, I mean, that's the role Randall has played majority of his career since he's made his ascension, going back to his time with the Knicks. He's been a point forward. 6 boards, only 1 assist tonight. Only 1 assist, and majority of that is OKC's defense. They have the guys to play him straight up and then crowd him when he gets close into the paint, which is why he hasn't really scored in the paint tonight. And so they're forcing him out on the perimeter, where he's a little more inclined to be a playmaker and more inclined to be a bully ball guy. But AP reminding people to hit the likes. I appreciate you, AP. Appreciate you, man. Delano said, also Julius and Ant competing for who's going to get the most points. Still not going to win. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think they're competing to see who gets the most points. I think they're trying to score. They're really struggling to score right now. And when that happens, you start to force it a little bit. Edwards is now 3 for 8 from 3-point range, 18 points, 5 for 13 from the field. Just not good enough. He's only taken 13 shots. Not nearly good enough. DiVincenzo's taking 13 shots. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's not scared. He's going to fire away, man. He's 3 for 11 from 3-point range. He knows what time it is. He's going to fire away. I need this guy to know what time it is. I need him to know what time it is. Randall, 7 for 10. He's done his job, despite not being able to be a playmaker, not doing that part of the job. But, this is the kind of time where if you're a superstar in the league, you got to come be a superstar, and you got to go out shooting. So he's got just under 7 minutes to go get some baskets, man. Go start hooping. I know he tweaked the ankle, but Solano said they need to start popping threes, though. They've taken threes, they just haven't made any, brother. And sometimes when you're not making them, you just got to go get yourself a classic 2-point basket. As Randall goes right to the basket and does exactly that. If the 3-point shots are not falling, go get me a basket. Randall does that. Go get me one at the rim. J-Dub has it up top as Edwards switches onto him. Gets it over to SGA, being guarded by McDaniels. Coming to his right, Randall switches on to SGA. SGA driving it down to his left. Stop, hesitates, spins to his right. To the basket, scoop lay with the right hand. Wild shot off glass, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound, and a shot clock violation. AP said, who's hurt? Edwards tweaked his ankle earlier in the game, went back to the locker room and likely got it retaped or something. And since then, he's looked a little less explosive, but, gotta be better. Like, you're out there, man, and you're fine. It wasn't that bad of a tweak. You're still moving well. You're not laboring at all. Alexander Walker down the lane, scoop lay with the left hand off glass. Got it to go past Holmgren. Tough move. Back to a 10-point game. They're going to give themselves an opportunity here, but you got to continue to get defensive stops. They did that previously with the shot clock violation, but you got to continue to do it as SGA goes all the way to the basket and gets an easy right-handed layup. McDaniels, I believe, with 5 fouls, didn't want to foul him there. Right? Am I mistaken about that? As Alexander Walker down the lane, over to DiVincenzo, left corner three from him. Can't get it to go. Still can't get it to go. McDaniels with the 5 fouls. Edwards with 4. So SGA has it up top, being guarded by McDaniels. Dancing with it. Coming to his right. Draws the foul, McDaniels, and he's out. Just like that. McDaniels has fouled out. That is the Jaden McDaniels experience right there. So Genetic said Ant is a warrior. All right, man, go get me a basket then. You have less than 20 points here tonight. I need more. This is the Western Conference Finals. This is the same issue I had with him in last year's conference finals. Where are you, brother? Where are you? SGA knocks down the first one. He got another one coming. SGA misses a free throw. Randall with the rebound. Here comes Edwards. Back to a 13-point game. They had it at 10. Edwards dancing with it. Over to Alexander Walker. He's going to fire 3, and he knocks it down. Back to 10. They're trying to give themselves the opportunity. They're trying, man. They're trying. SGA bringing it down. On the right wing, being guarded by Randall. Coming to his left. Step back, follow away jumper over Randall. Gets it to go. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. It might just come down to the fact that SGA is going to kill you. As J-Dub scares Anthony Edwards into losing the ball out of bounds. Where are you, man? Where's Edwards? Supposed to be the face of the league. He's supposed to be the guy. Where are you, big dog? SGA coming to his left. Edwards switches onto him. SGA's going to look the dance. Get it out to J-Dub. Extra pass. Blue Dort, right corner 3. Splashes. Timeout, Minnesota. Is now they trail by 15, and this one is over. This one's over. And Sharon McLean gifted a membership. Oh my goodness, Sharon, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Sharon. I didn't even notice that. V. Harris has become a member. V. Harris got gifted the membership. I appreciate you, Sharon. Make sure you give her a thank you, V. Harris, for gifting you the membership. I wish it would have came up here, though. AV said, well, it looks like whoever's going to win the championship would have to go through OKC. Good thing Knicks are a good road team. They are a pretty good road team. This is game 1. We'll see how the rest of the series plays out. I'm disappointed in the performances from Edwards. In the performance of Edwards, if only because he's taking 13 shots tonight. Got 3 turnovers, 4 fouls. Where are you, man? Where are you? Where are you? 13 field goal attempts? Like, I know OKC's defense is really good, but, like, you got to get closer to 20, man. Even Chinzo's taking more shots than you. Alexander Walker's taking 11. Randall's taking 12. You can't be stuck at 13 shot attempts when everyone has been struggling to score. Like, they're looking at you like, brother, we can't hit a shot. Can you do something? Where are you, man? Where are you? You're supposed to be the guy. I hear about Anthony Edwards' praise all the time. 13 shot attempts? I don't want to hear about the ankle either. I saw Brunson go down with holding his ankle, go back to the locker room, come out with the Superman cape on, and will his team to a victory. I saw that happen with my own 2 eyes. You know, it was against the worst team in Detroit. But, man, dude, brother, get the ball. Tell everybody to get the hell out of your way. I don't care who's on you. Caruso, J-Dub, SGA, Case and Wallace. Tell them you can't guard me and go at him. He's a minus 18 tonight. I don't really love this stat. But he has the largest minus of anybody on the team here tonight. He's been bad. He's been bad. And he wasn't all that good in last year's conference finals either against the Dallas Mavericks. Russell Field said, who's better, SGA or Brunson? Come on, man. SGA is about to win MVP. Come on. What are we doing? AP said, numbers say SGA, game on the line, I'm picking Brunson. Yeah, game on the line, I might take Brunson over SGA for sure, but it's still going to be SGA. He's going to win MVP. He's kind of taking the crown as probably the second or third best player in the NBA. I'd still take Giannis over him, so I'd say third. Jokic, Giannis, and SGA for me. Top 3. They get it in the Randall. Randall spins to his right, spins to his left, lefty layup. So they go for Randall. 13-point game. Do they have enough time to make this comeback? SGA has it up top, coming to his left, dancing with it, takes it over to Wallace. Wallace with the pass fake. DiVincenzo lets him blow by, and a lob over to J-Dub, and terrible defense from Dante DiVincenzo, getting absolutely left in the dust there. Where are you, man? Randall again is going to go one-on-one, kicks it out to Alexander Walker, kicks it back over to Reed. Reed fires a 3, can't get it to go. And a foul by Lou Dort, as Randall was fighting on the glass for that rebound. DiVincenzo, absolutely horrific defense out on the perimeter. Right? Wallace is able to get that lob off to J-Dub because Alexander Walker has to come over and help. Because DiVincenzo gets left in the dust. Like, come on, man. You can't let that happen. Anthony Edwards is going to dance with it, gets it over to Reed going along the baseline, swings it out to nobody. Swings it out to nobody. And bad decision after bad decision from Minnesota. Obviously, you give a ton of credit to OKC for their defense, but the decision-making from Minnesota tonight has been horrendous. J-Dub has it up top, being guarded by Alexander Walker. Get it over to SGA. He's going to dance with it, driving to his left. Pump fake. Good defense from Edwards. Kicks it over to Caruso. A one-dribble pull-up 3 of Randall, and he splashes it. And that's the nail in the coffin. Been a couple of nails in the coffin, but that's 18-point lead now. Randall with the patented, not going to get a hand up on the shooter. Anthony Edwards turns it over yet again. And SGA, beautiful in and out move down the lane. Leaves it off to Caruso at the last second, gets blocked by DiVincenzo. Julius Randle, I love it with the patented. I'm not even going to get a hand up on the shooter right now. J-Dub, a fall-away baseline jumper, can't get it to go. Edwards with another rebound. Anthony Edwards has taken one shot in the fourth quarter here. Like, I don't care that Alex Caruso is on you. If you're the guy, like, he can't guard you, man. Dance with it. There you go. Step back, Swings it out to Reed. Reed's going to fire another deep three. Going to miss another one. Man, shoot the ball, Edwards. You know, we talked about, like, oh, Dante's not lacking confidence. Edwards may be lacking some confidence here tonight. J-Dub's dancing with it down the lane. Gets fouled. Going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Delano said they got to regroup. He's just playing bad, that pressure on him. Like, just shoot the ball, man. Like, chuck up a couple of air balls. I don't care. I need you to go out swinging. If I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, I'm disappointed. Anthony Edwards is taking one shot in that fourth quarter, man. Avey said, why do they have to put all our games on TNT? I want to hear Mike Breen, not Reggie Miller, Shaq, and Charles Barkley. The Eastern Conference is always on TNT. This is how the previous TV deal works. Obviously, there's going to be a new TV deal going into next year. But the Eastern Conference finals are always played on TNT, and the Western Conference finals are always played on ESPN. You know, I said at half this was an OKC game. Yeah, I mean, we went through it. It was a bad look for Minnesota to hit 10 threes, shoot 40% from three-point range as a team, hit 10 threes, 7 more than OKC in the first half, and only be up by 4 points. It was a really bad sign. We went over. We talked about it. It definitely felt like an OKC game. J-Dub knocks down a free throw. Trying to push it to 20. Randall subbed out. Gobert hasn't played in this fourth quarter at all. Got 2 minutes to go. Edwards is out. This game is over. And we're going to sign off. They pulled Edwards and Randall out. 0 points in the fourth quarter for Anthony Edwards. 5 in the third, 6 in the second, 7 in the first. 18 points tonight for him. Not good enough. You're supposed to be the guy, man. You're supposed to be the guy. And J-Dub knocks down both free throws, making it a 20-point game with 2 minutes to go. And I appreciate y'all. And they initially foul to get the guys out. They get the guys out. And both teams subbing in the end of the bench guys. Sometimes Minnesota might get swept. Nah, it's just game one. It's just game one. They'll play better. They'll shoot better. All of the things. Yada, yada, yada. Right? But that's going to be it, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Tomorrow is the real show. We're going to bring the energy. We're going to have a good time. Hey, look, there it is. Our thing finally caught up. Sharon. Appreciate you, Sharon, for the gifted membership. Very generous of you. Maybe said TNT, we're going to have the whole broadcast rooting against us. And to be honest, AP, I wouldn't have it any other way, man. It's Knicks against the world. We know this. We know this. But I appreciate y'all. Remember, get a good night's sleep. Brush your teeth before you bed. Stay hydrated. I appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. The real show will start tomorrow when the Knicks take on the Indiana Pacers for Game 1 of the conference finals. Oh, my goodness. I just said that, and it is true. That is a true statement that I just said, y'all. That is a true statement. But I appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Less than 24 hours. And Knicks Pacers will tip off. 8 o'clock start time tomorrow on TNT. So until then, I appreciate y'all. Enjoy your night. I'm out. Bye.